Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic and the Season of Mastery. We are taking the Warlock down into Silverpine today. I've kind of been putting this off for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that I recently took the Rogue into Silverpine, our Burning Crusade Rogue. And I really didn't want to be doing the same quest on the same day on two different characters at a different pace. I thought that would be incredibly tedious for myself and possibly for those of you who are watching both playthroughs as well. It could be incredibly tedious. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I haven't been on the Warlock in a little while. The other reason is, and it's time for some real talk here I guess, the Season of Mastery, the floor has kind of like crumbled beneath me since they upped the experience gain from 40% to 100%. I think they wanted to incentivize people to play more. What it did for me was it kind of invalidated my previous leveling, and it actually made me not even want to log into the game. That has been my gut instinct for a while now. Today I'm making myself get on here to do some things, to see how I feel about continuing to play the class, and to continue playing in the Season of Mastery at all. Because, you know, when you start with 40% increased experience, and then after 3 months you bump it up to 100%, it just kind of makes me think, hey, if I wait a little bit longer, it's going to be 150%, and then in 3 months after that it'll be 200%. And ultimately, where does it stop? And furthermore, what is the point of it all? That's the biggest question. I mean, I have our level 60 warrior who's just kind of been sitting there. Today I spent 40 minutes looking for a group for a Skullomance run, which is one of the dungeons that I have not done in Classic. I did it post the remake of it, so I think that was after Cataclysm when they remade Skullomance. But I've never seen the original, so I thought, hey, I'll get on my tank, I'll look for a group, and I'll find one. No, you won't. You won't find one, especially if, like me, you play during the morning or during the day. Without cross-realm grouping, you're not going to find a group. You might find a group at peak time. And so that's another reason, is that I have been just completely disinterested in getting on the Season of Mastery ever since they buffed the experience bonus. Because it was becoming apparent that the destination doesn't matter, right? There's a destination, it's level 60, it doesn't matter. The journey is what matters, especially to me, because I don't have a guild, so I don't have a bunch of ready people to quest with at max level. I'm not interested in getting a guild for a seasonal model of the game. So really the only thing that could keep me interested in the game at endgame is if they introduced a cross-realm looking for group functionality, where I could put myself in the queue and I could have the option of grouping up with people across different realms. This guy's an escort quest, and somebody must be doing the escort quest right now because I see a bunch of dead wargs and I don't see the quest giver, so yay! We get to wait for somebody else to finish a quest before we can pick it up. But yeah, I mean, I could go into it a lot more. But I think you guys probably understand. I'm sure some of you have also felt similarly, perhaps, about the Season of Mastery after the bonus experience. Is that I feel like, yeah, I have my one character at endgame who is a tank. If I'm not finding groups when I want to as a tank, then I'm probably not going to find groups when I want to as a healer or as a DPS. So why would I want to rush to endgame? Why would I want the experience boost? So what, I can have another 60 sitting at endgame, not doing content, waiting for the rest of the season to come to a close? I don't know, I've been very conflicted.
What is it?
6 discolored warg hearts, okay. Yeah, I've been really conflicted, and I've just been kind of thinking, yeah, maybe the Season of Mastery is best served to people who have guilds, basically. You have a guild? Great. You're gonna do well, you're gonna enjoy your time. You're gonna do lots of cool endgame stuff, maybe. If you don't have a guild, or you don't have the time, then you're just leveling up a character who's eventually going to sit at endgame. And I've seen some misconception about what happens to your character after the season ends. I've seen it in the comments, I've seen it in other places on the internet. People seem to have some idea, at least some of them do, that you can level up a character in the Season of Mastery, and then you can take that character into Burning Crusade. Let me say this, you absolutely cannot do that. You will never be able to do that. That's why they're able to offer you 100% boosted experience and all the other changes that the Season of Mastery brings with it. These characters are never going on to another expansion. When this season ends, these realms are going to become vanilla classic era realms. They are never going to get new content. They are never going to become Burning Crusade realms. You are not going to be able to manually transfer the character from a classic realm to a TBC realm. That's right, you won't even be able to pay Blizzard money to move the character over. If you want a Burning Crusade character to go into Burning Crusade content, to go into Wrath of the Lich King content after that, whenever we get that expansion, you have to level up a character on an actual TBC realm. Without the 100% boost to experience. So, guys, if any of you are out there, and I've seen this in the comments a couple of times, so I know that these people must exist. If you're thinking you're going to quickly level up a character in Season of Mastery because of the XP buff, and you're going to transfer that character to a Burning Crusade realm and have all the Burning Crusade fun times, you're not going to do that. Please stop now. Log out. Select a Burning Crusade realm, and start leveling again. Because that's what you're going to have to do. And yeah, so that's kind of been the things that I have been thinking about with Season of Mastery. And probably a reason why I don't know, if I'm being honest, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be participating in the Season of Mastery. I am very much enjoying my rogue run on the Burning Crusade servers. With that character, I know that it has a chance that if I really do like the character, it could continue to move forward. Not only into Burning Crusade content, but eventually it could move into Wrath content whenever we get that expansion to Classic. Probably another year or two, with Blizzard's current timetables being what they are. But yeah. This guy is never going to come back. I don't understand. Where the hell is this guy? Are we ever going to get to escort him, or are we simply going to miss this quest? Not that it matters, because we get 100% boosted experience, so we can miss half of the quests, and it won't matter at all. Like, in point of fact, the only reason to level up this character or any other character is just like as an experiment. It's just to say, how fast do we level like this? How fast do we level with 100% boosted experience? I'm not too interested to find out. I mean, I play retail, so I have an idea of how fast a character can level. I also know that leveling quickly doesn't really add a lot to the experience. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Season of Mastery, guys. It's funny because my initial plan for the Season of Mastery was that I was going to level one character. It was the only character I was going to level. I was going to do whatever content I could get into, knowing full well that without a guild, it was going to be hard to get into any endgame content at all. I had decided I'd roll a tank, which we did, and that would be the end of the season, and that character would do whatever endgame content I could conceivably get it into, and it would be done. Somewhere along the way, I convinced myself that it would be okay to level alts in the Season of Mastery, that maybe we wanted to have a healer or a DPS. Even though I could see that in the times that I'm able to play, in the times that I want to play, there aren't any groups. I also am pretty sure that most of the Season of Mastery servers are like middle to low population right now. Which is, as a matter of fact, here, let's let's have a little look, because this might not be accurate, and I don't really want to say anything that isn't completely accurate, because I know someone out there is going to correct me. So let's have a look at just what the population levels are listed at for our Season of Mastery servers. Now keep in mind, in TBC I play Horde on Mankirk, which is a high population server. It's not full, but it is high. But let's take a look here. This is it, guys. We're on one of the realms that's actually not doing horribly. But this is an indicator, or should be an indicator to everybody, that there aren't a lot of people playing the Season of Mastery. Just like there aren't a lot of people playing on the Classic Era realms. Okay, they have all these realms. Not a single one of them even has a medium population for Classic Era. But yeah, here we are. Apparently the only realm you can get into with a high population in Season of Mastery is Jam Gabar. We got incredibly lucky, and we're at a medium. What medium means is what we've been experiencing, which is that you're not going to find groups when you want them. You'll be lucky to find groups at peak times of the day, which is going to be different depending on what time zone you are actually in. This is an Eastern US server, so obviously depending on what time zone you live in, your peak time might be a little different. You might get a little luckier or a little less lucky with finding groups. We don't need you. We still need a bunch of warg hearts. But yeah, conversely, if we were to look at the Burning Crusade servers, they're doing marginally better. Now, my original Alliance server for Burning Crusade was Westfall. Westfall population is not doing well. It's not doing well. It's a medium server that's mostly Alliance, but there are much better servers to be on if you're in US East or can play on US East and you want to go into TBC. Pagel is a good realm for if you're going to play Alliance. It has a high population. And Mankirk is a good realm if you're going to play on Horde, if you're in or around US East. Here he is. We need to escort this guy. There's going to be wargs that pop up and kind of try to stop us. We're going to preempt some of it with our Voidwalker here. I am getting to that point where, like I said, the Season of Mastery has kind of fallen away. Here's what I need to see for any future seasonal stuff in World of Warcraft to interest me. It needs to have more changes. It has to have changes. Not just changes. It has to have some new content. And new content is not where you go into the endgame stuff and you tweak a boss here, you adjust health there, you give it an old ability that got taken away. Those aren't changes. I need new dungeons, new zones, new quests. Class changes. Can we get some class changes? Can we pull classes as how they were in other expansions and put them into Classic? Can we do like just a free talent system where I can choose other classes' talent trees? Can you do something original and unique and charming? Something that might make me want to play alts and waste hundreds of hours leveling a character that's never going to progress into any other content. There has to be a Classic Plus. If they do another season, which I don't know if they will after this, because like I said, the player numbers are not looking good for 4 months in. They just aren't looking good. It doesn't look like something that could be sustained for an entire year. So if they ever do another season, I hope they learn some lessons, and I hope they're willing to take much bigger risks in the kinds of stuff that they change. Because the only way I will be participating in another season of Classic is if I see those drastic changes. I don't want to play through the same phases that have been out for 15 years at a higher rate. I don't care if you're going to drop more loot. I couldn't give a shit less about how much loot the bosses drop. I'm here for the experiences, so after a point, if all the experiences are going to be basically the same experience, obviously that's not something that's going to hold people for the long term. People are going to be done with that pretty quickly, As we can see, anybody who wanted a main and a couple of alts has had lots of time to do that. We don't need another 100% experience buff. We don't need 8 more months of the season. Everybody who's wanted to do this stuff has already done it. So if you're... that's the other thing. If you're not adding a bunch of new content to do and releasing constant new content, not re-releasing your phases, I get it, we're in phase 2 or phase 3, we're going to get more phases, but it's the phases of the same stuff that everybody's already done. It's the same stuff that everybody's already done. It's not anything new, it's all solved for, it's all solved. You know, there's the optimum way to do everything already established. You need to have all your flask and all your resistances and all your potions to do the fights and be accepted into groups and spend hundreds of gold on materials to raid. It's all solved. It all has to be done in a very specific way. And I find that kind of shit incredibly boring, to be honest. So that's my real talk. That's kind of where I'm at with the Season of Mastery, is I think I am just about done with it. I've learned a lot, and I hope Blizzard has as well. I hope that they take some of the lessons learned, and maybe sometime in the future, like I said, it's a year season, so we're talking about November. Which I don't want to think about, because I'm looking forward to like spring and temperatures getting warmer and life thawing out. So like, I'm not looking ahead to what Blizzard's going to do with their seasonal model next year. I can't be bothered to even care. So it's like, I hope that they learn from their mistakes, but let's be real. When have they learned quickly from mistakes? When have they not just made the same mistakes over and over again for years before they change anything? And then when they change stuff, it's always too little too late. You know, they think this experience buff is going to pull people back in and make people want to play. That just shows you how out of touch they are with the things that people actually want and need in their game. We don't need to level up faster, okay? We need just sweeping changes and improvements. Keep it fresh, keep it new. We've already had no changes. Let's go WoW Classic, all the changes, okay? You have to have some creative people working for your video game company. Let them have their heads. Let them forge ahead and make the changes that they want to make. You tell me you have to have creative people working for your freaking video game company. People who play the game and love the game. People who think about the game and they say, you know what would be really cool that I'd love to see in WoW Classic? This shit. And then they all get together, put their heads together, and they make it. That's what I want for WoW Classic. I want it to be a creative endeavor of the heart. That a dedicated group of developers who love the shit out of the game get together and they just make the wildest ideas come true and put them into the game. That's what I want to see. And if I don't see that, I won't be back for Classic seasons in the future. Not that the world would be missing a lot for my absence. The world of seasonal WoW will do whatever it's going to do with or without me. That is absolutely the case.
What would you ask of death? Beware.
But yeah, that's kind of, that is where my head has been about the Season of Mastery. And it's why I haven't logged into any Season of Mastery characters. And it's why I don't really think that the other Season of Mastery playthroughs are going to continue. I would like to still do stuff on the Warrior. In fact, almost every day I log in, I'll look for groups. There are no groups. I log out. And so yeah, it's something that I would love to do. It's just not necessarily something that is set up the best for me to be able to do it. I think a lot of you guys also fall in that category when it comes to having troubles getting into groups for the content that you want to do. Did I miss somebody down there? Or no, I have to talk to this guy again.
I'm listening.
This is a breadcrumb to Undercity, maybe? Supplying the Sepulchre. By a bat ride to Undercity. Yep, we don't need to do that right now. And where is this last quest? Is it inside this building? I don't really think so. I think it's still marking, maybe I need to update Questy. It's still marking the holiday event, which is in fact over, so. Let's run outside of town here and take on some Moonrage White Scalps, shall we? And yeah, I'm sorry to those of you who come here to like, I know most of you come here to chill and hang out and have a good time. And I try to keep the content relaxing. Obviously, this is just me complaining, essentially. This is me venting my feelings at you about the Season of Mastery. And if that's not what you want, I hope that you have, like, turned this video off. I hope you're still not watching it. But that was kind of my ultimate purpose in getting on here today. A lot of the times when I am not enjoying a playthrough, or yeah, usually it's just when I'm not enjoying a playthrough, I'll stop the playthrough, okay? I am not the kind of person that will make myself do something that I am in no way enjoying. That doesn't mean that every minute of an enjoyable playthrough has to be enjoying. There will always be frustrating moments in anything, I think. And just days when you feel a little off and just things don't go your way. But I have many times stopped playthroughs without saying a word. Without saying why, or explaining myself, or having a conversation about it, or anything. So I thought it would be just better for you guys, and probably better for me too, to at least have a video where I talk about what I'm thinking, and I'm talking about kind of what's motivating me to make decisions about stopping playthroughs, so that, you know, the videos don't stop coming and you're sitting there wondering, well, why am I not going to see another Warlock video? What happened to the Shaman? And I feel like it's better this way. Like, obviously there are going to be those of you guys who this is going to piss you off, right? It's not going to make you happy. Maybe you're really attached to the character. Maybe you think my ideas are completely invalid and that I'm a retard. I don't really know. Like, you're free to think anything you want about me or my opinions. But ultimately, I'm the one who has to push the buttons and move the guy. So if I have feelings that are not great, not enjoying my time, ultimately I'm not going to continue a playthrough. It wouldn't be good for me. It wouldn't be good for you guys either if I force myself to complete a playthrough that I'm not having fun on. Like, yeah, I could level this character to 60, okay? With the 100%, it probably wouldn't be that hard. It would probably be something easy. We could probably do it mindlessly. It really wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if we did that, a lot of the content is going to be like today, where I'm going to get on here and I'm going to want to vent my feelings about how I feel about the Season of Mastery. And right now, I don't have a lot of good feelings about it. I think it was poorly executed. I don't think they really gave people credit in the fact that people are going to level really, really fast. They're going to blow through content really, really fast. And then they're going to be bored. They're going to be done. I think making it a year-long season was a horrible mistake. Of course, they had to make it a year-long season because with their horrible development pipelines, Blizzard doesn't have the capacity to create any kind of content quickly. You'd think creating a dungeon or a raid boss in a 14-year-old, 15-year-old game engine would be pretty easy compared to development pipelines for things with shinier graphics and more particle effects and things like that. But they can't do it. They can't do it. It really needed to be a 3-month or a 6-month season. If it was a 6-month season, and we kind of knew, well, you know, we're 4 months in, we got a few more months to go, and we're going to be in a new season, that would be different. That would probably be appropriate at this point if they had sped up the release cadence a little bit more, let people get in there and do what they're going to do. I don't think that a season should go on for a year. I don't think that in a seasonal model people should be as concerned about getting their best in slot for every phase. I think that we should just be in here doing content, and preferably some of that content would also be new stuff that we haven't seen before. What do we need now? Grizzled bear hearts. Alright. Can we get those going north? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we can get those if we go north. Don't think we really need to go south yet. As far as, you know, what I plan to do in the near future, if I'm not going to be playing Season of Mastery, well, I'm going to continue with the Burning Crusade Rogue. I'm really enjoying the class. I'm really enjoying Burning Crusade in general. It's obviously just... it's a much better game than Classic. Sorry for people who think that Classic is ultimately superior. It isn't. It definitely isn't. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on keeping on the Rogue. I'm as far as the retail mage, I don't plan on playing the retail mage anymore. It was completely boring. We were pressing one button for every single fight since basically level 5, and that button was arcane missiles. And you can arcane missiles, and that's all you have to do. If you keep pressing that button, you will win. And it is not interesting to me at all. So I was considering rolling up a warlock in retail, and I thought, yeah, a retail warlock might be more interesting than a retail mage. So I have that in the works. And then, of course, 9.2 is going to come out... oh, we don't have a calendar here because it's Classic. 9.2 is coming out on the 22nd. So on the 22nd, we will be stepping foot into Zereth Mortis and seeing if Blizzard can fulfill any of their promises of an open world zone with story and lore that people who like story and lore will enjoy. I haven't enjoyed any of the story and lore of Shadowlands. So they have that's a pretty big promise for them to try to keep in my book, because none of the story has been good. The way it's been told in game has been stilted and awful. And I find the lore of Shadowlands really lackluster and empty. So we'll see if the new zone and some of the new systems are fun, or if it's just more of the same garbage that they've been stacking onto the game since BFA. So we'll try that out, we'll see how that goes. I think Chains of Domination I got like 2 hours in before I absolutely hated the things that they were having me do. I could see the progression gameplay loops kind of open up before me. There was zero immersion, and it just did not make me want to be there or click the buttons at all. So they can't do worse than Chains of Domination for me. It could be exactly the same, I guess, but we'll see how that's going. Next Friday, Elden Ring comes out, and I am planning to play Elden Ring. I love the Dark Souls games, and from what little I know, because I've been trying to avoid any real spoilers, Elden Ring is just going to be an open world Dark Souls game. An open world Dark Souls game with mounted combats, and apparently some big ticket writers behind the lore of their world, so I'm really interested in that. I love the way that the Souls games presents the lore. It's always very mysterious and things just get alluded to a lot. But by reading like item descriptions and traveling various places, you kind of start to put together this concept for the entire world. And I really like the way that they go about telling the story of their world in their games. So we need the book. So yeah, Elden Ring is going to be fun. Hope you guys are interested and will tune in for that. I have no idea what I'm going to do in Elden Ring yet. Like I said, I've been avoiding all spoilers, so I don't really know the weapon types and stuff we're going to have access to, or what kind of magic we'll be able to have. I know that they're leaving it open, so that you'll basically be able to equip any combination of weapon and armor and magic that you want. Similar to Dark Souls games where you just need to have the stats to equip the thing, and if you have the stats, you can equip the thing. I really like that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And so that's kind of my like immediate plans. I'm going to focus on the Blood Elf Rogue, and leveling that up. That's going to be our classic playthrough. I'm going to try out a retail warlock. We're going to go demonology and see, kind of have this idea that like summoning an army of demons to fight for us might be fun. It's going to be more fun than pressing arcade missiles over and over and over again, no matter what. So we'll try that. I think I'll make it a Forsaken too. We'll see a little bit of the parallel even if we don't continue to play this warlock. I'd like to see... I'm kind of interested to see Silverpine and Hillsbrad and see some of the things that Sylvanas does, as obviously in 9.2 we're probably going to be getting a wrap-up to Sylvanas' story. I think it'll be interesting to see how they wrote her in the past compared to how they write her today. So that's kind of my thoughts around upcoming content. Love to hear what you guys think as well. And yeah, that's about as far ahead as I can think right now. So we need Nightlash. If she's not up, we need to kill a bunch of gnolls until she does show herself. And yeah, she's not here now. Oh wait, is that her? No. No, it's not. It's something, but it's not Nightlash. Let's see. These guys, we're going to pull like all three of them if we go that way. Let's go over here. We also need to be working on the Grizzled Hearts. Oh, there she is. She's already up. Oh good, we're gonna fight a bunch of these guys for no reason. And like ultimately guys, like no matter what we do, it's important for me that I'm just enjoying myself and having a good time. Like I said, I think that there are probably some people out there who just like completely treat it like a job and they'll get on and they will play no matter how they feel about it. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I try to listen to my feelings, so if I'm feeling like, hey, this is no fun, this is no good, it's not going to be good for me, it's not going to be good for you guys. She got a big heal from somebody. Somebody gave her a big ol' heal. We can pop a potion, that's how we can try to live. We can get our Voidwalker over on this thing, but that's not going to help for very long because our Voidwalker's dead and so are we! Hey, that's totally fine with me. As a matter of fact, like, having said basically everything that I want to say, I'm fine with leaving this here. And yeah, I'd say sorry to the guys who really, if you really like this playthrough, but listen, look, honestly, we're going to have other playthroughs that I'm going to enjoy more. I'm really liking the Rogue playthrough. We're in some of the same zones. We're going back and forth right now between Silverpine and the Ghostlands, so if you like the zone, you like the vibe of it, you can see more of it. It's just not going to be in the Season of Mastery. It's going to be on the Burning Crusade realms, because it sounds stupid, but that's where the future is at. As silly as that is to say about a re-release of a 14-year-old game, that kind of is where the future is at. You guys have seen the population numbers for yourselves. I hope that if you're still really deep into the Season of Mastery that you're having better luck than I at finding groups, and I really wish you all to enjoy your time no matter what you do, whether that's here hanging out with me, or just off on your own, or exploring other content. But yeah, I've shared my plans. I would love to hear from you guys and hear what you think about it. Also, would be up to take any suggestions, but again, with suggestions, don't be offended if I don't follow your suggestions. It doesn't mean that they're bad, it just means that I'm me and you're you. We're walking two different paths in life, and as good as your advice may be, it might not always be congruent to what I want or care about. That being said, you are all awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate all the support that you've shown on the series and to the channel. Never doubt for a moment that it does mean the world to me. So take care of yourselves out there in the real world and take care of each other. And we will see you back somewhere in Azeroth or lands beyond sometime soon. Bye now.